Hello there, I'm Father Pat Collins, and I'm speaking to you from the Divine Mercy Conference here in Dublin. And I work full-time for the new evangelization in my country. And many of you might have heard that the faith is going out like the tide in Ireland, and up to a point that is true. But what's often overlooked is that powerful work is being done in the new evangelization. And I want to highlight one point that we have discovered and which we think is of vital importance, and that is there will be no effective evangelization or conversion of people to the Lord unless they are filled with the Holy Spirit. And we call this baptism in the Spirit. It's when a person has an experience of a release of the Spirit that they received in baptism and confirmation, and it floods them with a sense of God's love for them. And we find that if people have been, Catholic from birth, it's true that whether they practice or not, they will know a certain amount about the person of Jesus, but they don't know Jesus in person. So our aim is to move people from that knowledge about Christ to personal relationship with him. And the way in which we do that is we run Life in the Spirit seminars, which are 7 talks, which are to introduce people to the basic Christian message. And in the 5th week, if anyone wants to be prayed with for an outpouring of the Holy Spirit, like at Pentecost, they can receive it. And if I was asked what happens when a person is baptized in the Holy Spirit, I would quote the words of St. Paul in Ephesians chapter 3. He said, "May you have power, together with all God's holy people, to know the length and the breadth and the height and the depth of the love of Christ, which surpasses your understanding, that you may be filled inwardly with the fullness of God." And we find that many people, when they're prayed with, do have this wonderful transforming experience, and they come into a personal knowledge of Jesus Christ, and they do experience the impouring or the release of his love in their hearts. And then they have really good news to give to others, so that they in their turn can become evangelizers. And I want to highlight the fact that Pope Francis has said on more than one occasion that he wants Life in the Spirit seminars as part of the new evangelization to be run in every parish, convent, school and seminary. He said even run them for the homeless who have no proper abode. And he said the purpose of running them is that people will come into an intimate relationship with Jesus, which is the purpose of the new evangelization. And I was in Rome recently, and he said that he wants everyone in the Catholic Church to be baptized in the Holy Spirit. I'm going to say that again. He wants everyone in the Catholic Church, from the cardinals to the bishops down to the humblest member in the pews, that all would be filled with the Holy Spirit. And he then says, but once they've received the outpouring of the Spirit, they need formation in discipleship. And I couldn't agree with him more. And it saddens me that Pope Francis is often criticized by people on the left and people on the right, and they ignore this wonderful teaching that he's giving. And I often wonder whether the critics on the left and the right have themselves been baptized in the Holy Spirit. And sometimes when I listen to them and their lack of charity, I suspect that they haven't. So thank God for Pope Francis, but even more thank God for the power of the Holy Spirit, which is the engine of the new evangelization. Thank you for listening.